G'day guys. Today I want to share a bit of an update on my YouTube journey. It's not something that I've shared on this channel in the past, and I just wanted to share that with you and where I'm at with that. As well as at the end of this video, I'm going to do my reading wrap up for October, and there's some great books in there. So join me with a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, sit back and relax, and let's chat. I just wanted to give you an update because tomorrow I fly to Australia for a couple of weeks for one of my best friend's weddings. And I was just reflecting on all of this and all of the things that I've done in the year because the year is wrapping up, and I just wanted to share some of it. I've just got off work feeling inspired, still haven't packed, so procrastinating all of that. But in the process, I just found myself in my living room in a house that I love with a woman that I love. And I was thinking about how at the beginning of the year or the end of last year, I was considering starting this channel and I hadn't pulled the pin on it yet. And when I decided to, I committed to 7 videos. I was going to make 7 videos, see if I enjoyed it, see how I felt, see what it turned into. It's given me a lot more than that, but a little bit more on that in a moment. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say that I started and I've created almost 40 videos at this point. And I turn up every single week and I make an edit and I film things, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad and sometimes they're ugly and they're messy, and all of it has been a learning process. It's upgrading of gear, but it's also upgrading of skills and updating of being more precise and trying to be more myself and being authentically Tim. For those of you that don't actually know me, my name's Tim. Thank you for joining me. I'm a writer, I'm a creator, I'm a reader, and if you have joined me before, thank you so much. It means the world. But as I sit here in my living room as a person that wanted to start something or start things, and also a person in that same breath that hasn't found success easily in any of those things, I just want to say that it's worth it. The starting is definitely the hard part, but it's actually week 7 that's hard, or it's week 12, or it's week 52, or whatever week it is. There is a point that you get to whenever you start something that you get and just say to yourself, I don't want to do this anymore and I want to quit. And that is when you need to keep going. And I find that harder than actually starting. But if you are trying to start something, or if you want to just do the thing more consistently, just know that I was a person at the beginning of this year, as I started this channel, that had proved in certain areas that I could be consistent, but hadn't proved in enough areas that I could be consistent. And now I have started and I'm almost a year into this journey. As I sit here in this life that I've created for myself and that I'm trying to get better at and I'm trying to learn, and I've taken a job in a bookstore that allows me to do this stuff and allows me to live this really beautiful life. I'm back to doing things that I love and things that make me me, and realize that making things is my language, but it's also the thing that makes me most content and makes me feel good about myself. And as I finish writing the draft of my novel and getting to the end and starting a new one because I'm excited about getting to do the thing, I just believe anyone can do that. I believe anyone can turn up and learn the skill of sucking and enjoying it and going through this grief, love, failure, self-doubt process that exists with doing anything that comes from you. Somewhere along the way in all of that, I became a person that shows up, which was the thing that I admired about people 15 years ago, because I wasn't able to do that for me or for anyone else. But somewhere along the way, and doing this kind of stuff consistently, I've become the person that can show up consistently for both myself, for my creative practice, for my art, for my friend, for my partner, for my family. That's the coolest thing about all of this. It's showing up, and right now, making this video is actually not the thing that I want to be doing. I want to be packing my bags, getting organized, and just living in that while I enjoy my last night. It's 8 p.m. I've just finished work. I just finished a 2-hour work meeting, and the last thing I really want to do right now is film this video. And I know in my heart of hearts that this is what I need to do right now. So this might be a bit of a ramble, and it might be sharing something that I care about really deeply, but I'm sharing about it really deeply because if you're watching this, that you too can become a person that becomes consistent. You too can make things that you love and learn the skills. You too can start trying to climb whatever mountain it is that you are trying to climb. To borrow some words from Richard Flanagan, we are all ordinary, living these ordinary lives that we turn into something extraordinary. At least I think he said that. That's how I interpreted it anyway. But that's what I wanted to bring to you tonight because it means an incredible amount to me if you're watching this and supporting this. But it means just an incredible amount that you're watching this and engaging with it and supporting it and reading the things that I write and caring in any way because I understand that I am borrowing some of your time and using some of your time, mind you. I am sharing parts of myself and part of my experience with you because I find that valuable as well as when I consume it from someone else or when I pass it on to someone else. Because we are all in our journeys and we are all trying to learn. And I hope that you know that if you start making, sharing, and turning up in your journey as the thing that you want to turn up with, that is valuable because at the end of the day, I want to see your humanness. I want to see the messy sides of things. I want to see all of those things that forever we've been trying to hide because that's what we were taught. I want to show you that this video can come up and you can click on it and you can see that my process is ugly and it's messy and sometimes it's not flattering and there are times where I'm just talking my way through it. I've had a few weeks of incredible self-doubt on making things. I've been putting things on the internet and they've been getting 4 views, a single like, no views at all. And at times you doubt why you're doing it. And then you realize you're not doing it for the views or the attention or the external validation. You're doing it because you have to express yourself and you have to do it for you and you have to love that while also realizing that doing it is in fact the reward. And so I'm going to leave you with that, but I fly to Australia tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm excited to see my family. I'm excited to see my friends. I'm just feeling really fortunate that I can get on a plane and travel to the other side of the world as well as live on the other side of the world because what an experience we get to live in this life. But before I go, I'm going to talk about 3 books that I read in the month of October and give you a couple recommendations in the meantime, if you'll have me. Anyway, first up is The Names by Florence Knapp. This book had me in tears across the course of these pages. It's the first book that's made me cry in any way in a significant amount of time, and I just adored what she did in this debut. The Names tries to answer the question, can a name change the course of somebody's life? On a stormy afternoon, Cora takes her daughter and her newborn son down to the birth registration office to name her son, but at the last moment she hesitates, naming her son 3 different names. The first one is Bear, the second one is Julian, and the third one is Gordon, named after her abusive, violent, controlling husband. And it plays out the course of 3 different lives with the son named as 3 different things. Bear, Julian, and Gordon have these different experiences, but it really shows this overlap that this butterfly ripple effect can cause to somebody's life. in all three cases, her husband is violent. And in all three cases, they turn out differently. And this book is filled with hope. It's filled with love. It is just this like dangling of something, asking these really big questions. And it makes you think perhaps the what ifs don't actually matter in the way that we consider them to matter. It doesn't matter as much as we have always presented them to matter. And I fell in love with this. I found myself in all three characters, rooting for them at different times and hoping for their demise at different times. I found myself being in love with side characters. I found myself just gripped to this story and this world and the questions that it poses and asks, and found myself gripped to the questions and what it posed of the reader to consider the what ifs in our lives. This was also recommended by my mum, and my mum has not been wrong since she recommended me Twilight when I was 16, so that's a big deal. And what I will say is the writing is beautiful, it's emotional, it's intelligent, and I had this feeling the whole way through that Florence writes in a similar kind of essence, and not the same by any means, but there is a similar feeling emotion-wise as Fredrik Backman. And Fredrik Backman, if you know, is just a tearjerker in the way that he writes. And this had some of those elements, and I just adored it. So pick it up, give it a chance, give it a go, because that's the best book I've read in a while. Next up, I'll put it on the screen, is Everyone in This Bank is a Thief by Benjamin Stevenson. This is the fourth installment of the Ernest Cunningham series, and it follows the story of 10 heists in a bank. Everyone is guilty. It has this really unique perspective where Ernest Cunningham is both narrating the story, but he is also writing the story in the aftermath of the story. And in his series, he is involved in the crimes, the murders, or whatnot, one way or another. It's fast-paced, it's fun, it's funny, and Benjamin Stevenson, who's an Australian comedian, just puts a lot of different angles and twists and plots. I will say that this one, towards the end, let me down just a little bit, because I feel like in comparison to his other ones, it just didn't deliver on the promises from the very beginning. Actually, hold that thought. All right, I'm back. This is actually Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. This is his first installment in the series, and this is brilliant. This is just fast-paced, fun, and really delivers on the promises. And I felt like Everyone in This Bank is a Thief didn't quite deliver on the promises and really stretch some things. But isn't that fiction? Isn't that the rules behind fiction? Anyway, my partner's currently reading this one, and I think she's enjoying it. But either way, that series is really fun, and if you're looking for entertainment and something funny and something also pretty gritty, that's a pretty good series to go with. All right, third up is The Book of Dust by Philip Pullman. This was just... I feel like I forgot how good Philip Pullman is, particularly after the Golden Compass series, which is like slotted in that middle grade section. And I read that when I was teaching grade 4, and I loved the world building, I loved the characters, I loved the story. And I just thought it was this perfect mix of fantasy, adventure, mystery. I'm so excited to start the second one in this series. The third one, The Rose Field, has just come out, which is what prompted me to read The Book of Dust in the first place. But you know what? This is one of my favorite books I've read in this genre. Philip Pullman absolutely crushes The Book of Dust. I'm going to do a longer review on it at a different point in time. But just know that if you pick it up and read it, whether you're 14 or you're 64, you're going to have a really nice time with it. Anyway, that's what I read in October, and I've had a fun time reading all of them. I would let you know what I'm reading in November, but I have no idea yet, so still deciding on all of that. I'm sure there's going to be some new Aussie books that I'm going to pick up when I go back to Australia, and I will be adding to my list shortly. Anyway, I've got some stuff to do. I've got to pack. I've got some washing. I've got all the fun things. But I just wanted to make that quickly while I was still in Canada, because I just want to reflect on that time and this journey so far. If you've watched this far, I really appreciate it. As a writer who is just trying to share his love of writing and books and his journey, his messy, messy journey along the way. Thank you. I will see you back here next week. In the meantime, take care of yourself and take care of one another.